There's always a real pleasant surprise that always tends to come out just when I think we really need it. And
My
I genuinely think
mother's
that was
mistress.
1987 a year ago. And now
So
this
now
year,
you
it's
have
Daredevil Born Again.
two
Like, in
dis-
all honesty, it makes me so happy to see that the show got made. Even if I don't think it's as good as the original, I still am happy we got it, and I like the quality of the show. And with all the shakeups, all the internet exposure, all of the concerns people had, they managed to find a way to shift the show back to something that we knew and loved with its own little feeling to it. And Daredevil Born Again, in my opinion, is a solid series. Now, is it perfect? No. Is it great? Yes. Can it get better? I absolutely think so. So, the one big issue was apparently he wasn't going to Daredevil till like season 4 or 5, and people thought that was awful. So they brought in some new writers. Cox and D'Onofrio had some input on how the quality of the show was going to go, the tone, the feel, and they had enough input on it to where it still felt the same, but they definitely did not save the neo noir type feeling. This one felt more like a superhero show with some elements of the original kind of sprinkled in here and there. And I'm interested in seeing what the show would have been like if they didn't change it. I mean, apparently Muse was in the show from the beginning, and he's real dark. I don't know how you really translate that without the style of the noir feeling, but it is what it is. And then we had Kingpin or John Bernthal refused to return because he didn't think it was good. Then they got him to come back, so that kind of got my faith in the show. They brought back Wilson Bethel, brought back Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll, and next thing you know, the show was going for reshoots. And saw some costume leaks on the internet, some pictures, some things that could potentially happening. I know they changed the whole construct of the first episode. They kept the fifth episode, which is the one where he's in the bank, changed the last two episodes, and that's how we ended up with the show we got. I know they added more in there, but that's just kind of like a rough synopsis of what was really going on behind the scenes with the show. And also remember it was supposed to be 17 episodes. Thank
scripters
God they didn't do
for the
17
now.
episodes. 9, maybe 10,
My
perfect number. Perfect number. We've learned that is the perfect number for something like this. So we'll get to start off on the fact that like it opens up really crazy, really surprising, really cool one shot, some nice character moments here and there. See what breaks Matt, and I don't want to really say it because I want people to watch it. So, we see Matt go broke, he gets broken. It's a great moment, it's a great scene. Charlie Cox nails it. Charlie Cox is amazing. And, we get a flash forward after that. We see a bunch of things. He's running his own law firm with another person. Find out there's some other vigilantes out there. Fisk is running for mayor and other things come into play. And we start to
mother's
see towards the end of the
mistress.
first episode where
My
Matt is
mother's
really
mistress
fighting with
was
his
the
demons
daughter.
to not get back in the Daredevil suit. He's just over it. He just wants to be Matt Murdock, attorney at law, but he just can't fight that urge. Next time around, we are getting to the point where Fisk is really starting to catch steam. People are supporting him. People are really rallying behind him, even though he's Wilson Fisk. That drives Matt even crazier throughout the entire show. But in this episode, it just goes. The story just goes. We see Matt spiral from pretty much in control to really trying to just not beat the hell out of somebody. And then he finally lashes out a little bit and the typical Daredevil scream, he goes into another situation, I guess, with the character story moments. And one thing I will say about the show is I just didn't like the fact that there was something here, then it was there, then it was done. Like the whole Hector Ayala case, which is a very sad story in the comics. They found a way to make it better, but still like a little anticlimactic. And I just wish they handled it better. I mean, rest in peace to the actor, by the way. The actor who played Victor,
Of my
Hector Ayala, passed
grandmother's
away, and
mistress.
that's really sad, But he was a good actor.
Got
He was a
two
good
more
choice for the character.
modifiers for
White Tiger's
another
appearance
Naomi.
was pretty much what I assumed it was going to be
And my
like in the
mother's
comic, but
mistress,
they
while
found a way
this
to make it
isn't
not as
passive,
sad, but still
there's
pretty
something
sad.
about the construction of that
His
sentence
niece, who is
that
White
it
Tiger,
seems a
also in the
little
comics
over.
after his little situation, shows up, and they heavily implied she was going to be White Tiger, which I'm not super big on that. It just seems like she didn't really need to happen. Like we don't really need White Tiger in the MCU. It's not that the character isn't cool. She is cool in the comics, but like if she is, I don't think she'll ever be pivotal enough to be like in the movies. She might just be like a street level character. It's possible, but you know, let's see what else happens. We get really cool moment where John Bernthal shows up for a scene, and it's one of the best written scenes in the entire MCU. Other than that, that doesn't really break anything down. It's just Matt, I guess, being able to say Foggy's name and going through shit. Well, either way, Matt's being able to say things. He's able to
So
come to some kind of
therefore,
grips
I'm
with
going to
it.
rank on the board.
We go a little further. There's like a
Let's
cool
put
bank
Jacob's
robbery
down
episode,
here
which
at
is the
top.
episode they didn't change. They did not change the episode at all. They left that one in because I guess they wanted a really cool thing. And it's a really good episode, but it definitely feels different from the rest of the show. Like if you remove that episode, the pacing doesn't change and it doesn't really affect the show. But it is a nice little episode. We get to see Matt do things as Matt Murdock. He's like stops an entire bank robbery as Matt Murdock, and it's really cool. Um, some action there, some really good action, some real brutal action. We get to see Charlie Cox, flex
My
his
mother.
impression skills a little bit, and it's really
So
like
Jacob's,
spot on and good. Like
and this
Charlie
is
Cox is amazing. More Kingpin
your mother.
stuff. We see Vanessa. Found out Vanessa
My
was running
mother's
things while Fisk was away, quote
mistress.
unquote. And it seems like that whole
We'll
Echo
put
thing
mistress
is
over
just
here.
not prevalent. I'm not sure. Like it seems like what happened to him at the end of Hawkeye is still a thing, but what happened in Echo isn't a thing, or they just found some kind of bullshit way to brush over it. And yeah, because Echo sucked. So yeah, I guess they just were like, yeah, we can't like use this. Now, what I'm about to get into is crazy because now the Muse thing, Matt finds a new love interest in Heather, who is a character in the comics. She's annoying as hell in the comics, so it makes sense that people hated her by the end of the show because she's annoying as hell, but a different kind of annoying. We get some more stuff with Bullseye, which is really cool. We get some really interesting stuff with
This is
Kingpin.
also
The
Jacob's
one thing I
mistress.
will say about the show,
My
the
mother's
character writing
mistress. This is
for
Jacob's mistress.
Matt and Kingpin is just as great as it's ever been. The writing for Punisher when he shows up, phenomenal. Writing for Bullseye, phenomenal. Vanessa, great. But other than that, all the other side characters don't really feel that interesting. Like,
My
of course, I
mother's
remember the shorty's name at the law
mistress.
firm. She is another love interest Matt has
So
in the
now
comics
you
too,
have
but she's not interesting. I didn't
two.
particularly find BB Urick interesting for the three scenes she's in. They made her seem like she was going to be a bigger deal, but she wasn't. The Victor Ayala case, as I stated, is there, and it's just done, and then it's just over. Like it's obviously lingering in Matt's head the whole season, but it's not really alluded to, but it's just over. Uh the Muse situation, I could tell Muse was supposed to be the main issue while Fisk was also an issue. But the problem here is that the Muse things get solved, and it gets solved in a way that I just don't think was worth it. And I kind of wish they went a different direction with it. It felt kind of rushed, and it was kind of like, well, we're trying to set up this whole thing, so we got to like do something and have it here, but get rid of it, this and the third. It just didn't feel like it was necessarily handled well. And for all we know, they probably didn't really know how to handle it. But the action is good. I love the action. I think the action is cool. Little more on the Marvel side, but it's cool. A little more CGI than I would have liked in some scenes. And I wish the CGI wasn't so shoddy when we do know it's CGI, because that really, really hurts some of the action. But all in all, the violence is there, the brutalness is there, the blood, the bone breaking, the screaming, missing teeth. Like it's all in this show. And it's so fucking fantastic to just see it. It's fantastic. Let's see. The photography is just as beautiful in my opinion. I mean, obviously the tone is different. Like the tone's not 100% different, but like I said, the neo noir style of the original show is not the same style for this show. But the photography still lands. The photography, like the panel shots, the really cool widespread shots. There's some shots in this show that I don't think we even really see in the original show, which is what I really like. It feels more cinematic, but in like a still kind of a cool, grounded way, which was which was just a genius option. It was genius.
Descriptors
So we get
for the
this
name.
interesting thing of like
My
we do get a one shot, and it's the least good one shot, but it's still pretty damn cool for the one shot we get. It's just it's really good that this show got saved. You can tell where the older writers stuff stayed in and where the new writer stuff got put in because it's just handled really well. They did a really good job of saving the show. Like I'm telling you guys, like it's worth a watch. Even the people who are like, "Oh God, it's awful." It's not awful. It's not an awful show. It's a really good show still, and it's even saved. Now, what I will say is there are some shots that seem green screened, and that's frustrating as hell. That's the Marvel issue. Marvel tends to not get it still, and I'm hoping with season
mother's
2 they will
mistress.
understand that people want
My
raw
mother's
footage
mistress was
and
the
real
daughter.
location filming. Excuse me. Raw location and real location filming, that's what people want to see. The green screen here and there, sometimes it's necessary, but not for a show like Daredevil. You don't need a green screen. You just need a neighborhood, a place where you can film, and that's it. That's all. And for the most part, they did film on location. I know that for a fact. For the most part, they filmed on location, which is good. Actions as practical as they probably can. There's a really good practical effect. There's a really good practical effect in one scene, and I was like, this is some of the best practical effect I've seen in the MCU. It's freaking disgusting, but it's awesome as hell. So with it, you just gotta see it, y'all. Like D'Onofrio is just as incredible as he always was. Charlie Cox is just as incredible as he always was. Deborah Ann Wool, for the few scenes she has, she's great. John Bernthal is always amazing, no matter what. It's just it just feels good to see the show. Um, I do love where they seem to be
Of
going.
my
They like
grandmother's
the Mayor Fisk
mistress.
thing is gonna be a big deal.
You got two more modifiers
In
for
the fact that
another
Fisk has
noun.
people on his team, I do want to say I'm a little annoyed
And my
with the
mother's
little
mistress,
kind of
while
sort
this
of Trump
isn't
allegories.
passive, there's something about the
Like it
construction
wasn't a
of that
super on the
sentence
nose. Like
that
I
it
feel like
seems a
what
little
they were doing
old.
with the show is taking the worst parts of what people were saying about Trump that didn't happen and like throwing that on to this, like, what if this kind like, it's just like the allegories that just like don't need to really be there, you know? Like if Fisk was just an ass clown, yeah. But it just seemed like that's what they were trying to do. And I could be overstretching. I could be overstretching, right? But they've done it before, you know, like so yeah, but the Mayor Fisk thing, the spiral down, Matt's spiral into the abyss, basically, and just snapping out is wild. Fisk's eventual gain on the people and then even some other people that he gets to like work for him. The dynamic, the power dynamic is crazy and it's well done, it's well constructed, it's nice and built up to. It's a very satisfying
So
finale, which
therefore, I'm
that's a
going to
good
write
thing because
blue.
the one thing these Marvel shows can't do is
Let's put
end the show.
Jacobs
But
down
this
here in the
show
bottom.
ends with a really good finale that I really enjoyed. And I'm just like, man, season 2 is next year, y'all. Season 2 is next year, along with a nice Punisher thing with John Bernthal. So be on the lookout for both of these next year. I'm very excited to see John Bernthal get his own Punisher project, and I'm hoping the MCU, based off what we see with Daredevil, I hope they don't like chicken out and make it soft, because that's the last thing we need right now. We need some raw, uncut type stuff, for real, for real. So I would definitely say this show is
My
worth a shot. I think the
mother.
story's good. I think there are some things
So
that could have been
Jacobs,
patched up a little bit
and this
more,
is
but they didn't have the time. But the
my
new
mother.
writers are definitely great.
My
They're
mother's
very good with what they did with this season.
mistress.
Now, the next season, when they have the
With mistress
whole thing to
over here.
themselves, we might
You
actually get to see what they could really, really do from start to finish. And that is something we need to be very excited about, because for all we know, these guys can make this show just as good as the original series. We just haven't seen it yet. So, give it a chance. If you have seen it, let me know how you feel down below. If you haven't seen it, let me know if you plan on watching it. But, I'm always willing to have conversation. I really want this channel to grow. So, you've been here with Let's Talk Reviews. I'm glad I gave this video my first TV review.
This is
Um,
Jacob's
Make sure you
mistress.
guys like,
So
comment, and
Jacob's
subscribe for
mistress and
more, and I will
Jacob's
see
mistress.
y'all on the next one.